decade after decade. If you laced up skates as a Notre Dame hockey player, you only did so when one of the two campus lakes were frozen. There was no indoor rink. Not until 1968, anyway. That's when the Joyce Center first opened. And a man called Charles Lefty Smith was recruited to rebuild the university's Division I collegiate hockey program. Lefty knew he'd have to build a fan base too, so together with local business leaders like the Lehrmans, he started the region's first youth hockey league. Hockey was suddenly very popular. And the problem was there wasn't enough ice time for everyone. So the Lehrmans worked with Smith and other local leaders to convert an old foundry building into a skating rink.
You had to do your best to try to insulate it because the foundry was intended to let hot air out, not keep a certain temperature within. So there was a lot of work in order to deal with the insulation issues and so forth.
Yeah, it had its ups and downs, and a lot of rinks closed nationwide during the energy crisis of the 70s. But not here, not the icebox, so named for the frigid temperature inside.
When it was originally built by the Lehrman family, Dave Lehrman brought his wife Barb over to see the rink, and she was in here for a few minutes and started shivering. She said, "Geez, this is just like being in the icebox."
It's still here, still offering broomball for local kids, figure skating, sled hockey for disabled players like Nick Witkowski. Nick learned to skate right here at the icebox at the age of 5 years old. Now he plays for the United States sled hockey team.
The stories are all watching the kid at 5 years old that really couldn't skate at all and find out that they are the best player in the city in high school.
I won't slow down.
They're just so cute. My son spent an entire game skating with his eyes closed. You'll see kids that'll skate the entire game on one skate. You'll see kids that'll skate an entire game going backwards or just doing circles. You know, the game's going on, but for them, they're having as much fun or more than the kid that's actually chasing the puck. So it's just watching the kids who are out there having fun, even if they're not involved in the game, because they're doing something that to them is the time of their life that day, that they won't forget.
Kids have a lot of fun on the ice, but parents have a lot of fun in the stands. When our son was a mini-mite, which meant 5 years old, 6 years old, all of the dads would sit together in the stands. We'd all bring a pocket full of nickels. And every time the kids went out on the ice, we'd bet on how many times kids would fall until the next whistle. And so there was a constant betting going on for nickels in the stands. And the dads loved it. We just had a riot. You'd never show up at a practice so you wouldn't have a pocket full of nickels.
I won't slow down.
Half a century.
Yeah, I am.
Women's league, co-ed play, seniors, youth league, figure skating, sled hockey, broomball, and summer heroes camp.
Heroes Camp provides opportunities for kids all summer long. One of their instructors was a young man who said, "Well, I've done a lot of rollerblading. How tough can this be?" Well, when he put on skates and went down the ice, he was, we thought we might have to call 911 before he finished. He asked our manager here, who is a figure skater, how to do a spin. She showed him, and the very first time, he did a phenomenal spin.
'Cause I am on my way.
If you come here, you'll have senior league games, you'll have youth games, and all the parents mill around in the lobby and talk because you know each other.
The icebox even added a second sheet of ice in 1999, and yet it's still affordable, still safe and fun, and an operation that brings over $14 million in economic impact to the region year after year, thanks to the dozens of competitive tournaments opting to spend their time and money right here in our town. God bless Lefty Smith. In heaven now, he's smiling. The icebox he's had so much to do with is still working with the university, still coordinating the area's 4 sheets of ice, soon to be 5. Because the icebox is breaking ground on a 3rd sheet downtown. Technology improvements now make it possible to run 3 sheets of ice under one operation for nearly the same cost as 2. And a 3rd sheet of ice is good for everyone. It'll attract more tournaments, have more economic impact, bring more kids and adults who can take to the ice in a first-class facility at affordable rates. Imagine the guys all those decades ago who could only skate on a frozen lake. Just like Lefty. They're watching us now and smiling too. The Icebox, half a century in the city of South Bend, now investing in the next half century, right here on Walnut Street in South Bend. Keeping costs low as a not-for-profit, so everyone can afford to skate.